Hello everyone. My today's video is on the request of some of our students, and the topic of discussion of today's video is how to write chemical formulas and the equations. In order to write the chemical formulas, children, you must memorize this table. This is from your class 9th book. You have to memorize all the valencies given in this table. Let us look at this table very clearly and let me give you some tips how to memorize this table. Tip number 1, you make 3 columns in your copy and segregate all the elements in 3 columns: valency 1, valency 2 and valency 3. Then under each column, write the elements with the valencies 1, 2 and 3 separately. Whenever you will have a look at the table which you have formed in your copy, this will help you to memorize which elements have got valency 1, which have valency 2 and which have valency 3. Tip number 2, children, just memorize that sulfide, IDE, sulfide, IDE and sulfate, all these 3 have valency 2. So this can be your tip number 2, that remember that sulfide, sulfite and sulfate, these 3 fall in the category of valency 2. Tip number 3, according to this table in valency 3, we have only 4 ions to remember. That is aluminium ion, it has valency 3, iron ion, then nitride and phosphate ion. Only 4 ions to be remembered in valency 3. Fourth and the last tip is that the polyatomic ions, see children, these are the polyatomic ions I have written here. You can see in all the 3 categories I have written the polyatomic ions here. They should be bracketed like this, and the valency should be written outside the brackets. You can do this in your books also, that the valency should be put outside the brackets. I have put a green color bracket so that it is visible to you. The valency should be outside the bracket. This shows that this one valency is for the entire this polyatomic ion. Similarly here 2 valency is for the entire carbonate ion. Now what polyatomic ions are, let me make you clear children. Polyatomic ions are composed of 2 or more than 2 atoms combined together by covalent bonds, but they act as a single unit. They act as a single unit means this valency 2 is for the entire unit. यानी कि अगर हमने यहाँ पर कार्बोनेट आयन लिया है तो ये इस टुगेदर ये एक यूनिट की तरह बिहेव कर रहा है, ये पूरे की वैलेंसी 2 है, या इसको आप x मान सकते हैं, दी x वैलेंसी 2 एंड x इज इक्वल टू CO3. तो इसकी वैलेंसी x की वैलेंसी 2, x क्या है, CO3. सो दिस इज अ सिंगल यूनिट बिहेविंग एज ए आयन. Once you have learned the valencies, let us learn how to write the formula. Suppose you have to write down the formula of sodium chloride. How you will write the formula is that you will write down the symbols of sodium and chlorine. Then you will take down their valencies. This is +1 and this is -1. Then you will crisscross their valencies. सोडियम की वैलेंसी यहाँ पर और क्लोरीन की वैलेंसी यहाँ पर. Then you will write it, because it is 1 को हम ऐसे नहीं लिखते, ऐसे ही छोड़ दो. That itself shows that this is 1 atom. So this is the chemical formula of sodium chloride. Let us take another example. Let us learn how to write the formula of sodium oxide. Again we will write the symbols. Sodium symbol Na, oxide O, then their valencies. Valency of sodium is +1 oxygen is -2. Then you crisscross their valencies and the formula is Na2O. Sodium oxide is Na2O. 2 की वैलेंसी सोडियम के नीचे ऑक्सीजन की वैलेंसी 2 वो सोडियम के नीचे आ गई. 1 वैलेंसी सोडियम की वो ऑक्सीजन के नीचे आ गई and the formula becomes Na2O. Let us take some more examples and write down the formula of calcium oxide. The symbol for calcium is Ca. Oxygen is 2. Then their valency. Calcium is +2. Oxygen is -2. Then crisscross their valencies and we will get Ca2 and oxygen 2. Because it is 2 on either side and 2 gets cancelled, so the formula becomes CaO. Now children, in these cases writing the chemical formulas are very easy. The problem arises when you have to write chemical formulas where polyatomic ions are involved. Let us take one example of writing a chemical formula where a polyatomic ion is involved. Let us learn how to write the formula of sodium sulfate, where sulfate is a polyatomic ion. Let us write down the symbol for sodium. It is Na and the valency is +1. And sulfate, it is SO4 and valency is 2. And remember children, I have told you that always put a bracket for the polyatomic ions. Now, the symbol for chemical formula for sodium sulfate becomes Na2SO4. Let us take one more example, magnesium phosphate. This example will, children, help you to understand the importance of putting brackets in the polyatomic ions. Magnesium phosphate, symbol for magnesium is Mg, valency is 2 and phosphate is PO4 and the valency is 3. If we don't put this bracket, many of you get confused because when you crisscross the valencies, this 2 has to come here and you don't understand that where this 2 has to be put. Now, if you have put this bracket, it is very clear that this 2 has to be put here outside the bracket and your formula becomes Mg3PO4 whole twice. This means this 2 will be for the phosphorus. It will also be for oxygen. So when we have to count the atoms for this means that we have 2 atoms of phosphorus and 4 into 2, 8 atoms of oxygen. That is why children, I told you that you must put brackets whenever you have polyatomic ions. So here this formula clarifies the importance of putting brackets in the polyatomic ions. This gives you the formula of magnesium phosphate. I hope now writing the chemical formulas is clear to you. Let us take the example of writing the chemical equations. Once writing the chemical formula is clear, you can very easily write the chemical equations. Children, once you have learned how to write the chemical formulas, you can easily write the chemical equations. I have a few for you to give you the practice. Let us now practice how to write the chemical equations. Here is a word equation. Zinc reacts with silver nitrate to form zinc nitrate and silver. Let us convert this into the chemical equation. Zinc, use the symbol for zinc. Zinc reacts with silver nitrate. Now here you have to use your knowledge of writing the chemical formula. Silver nitrate, symbol for silver, nitrate, then their valencies, silver valency 1, nitrate valency 1. So here comes zinc plus silver nitrate gives zinc nitrate. Again you have to form the formula. Here I am writing, we have zinc nitrate. Write down their valencies. Valency of zinc is 2 and nitrate is 1. Then crisscross their valencies and we get the formula zinc NO3 whole twice. This gives us zinc nitrate plus silver. So this becomes your chemical equation. You can balance this equation. Zinc 1 atom. We have silver here 1. Then we have 2 atoms of nitrogen, here 1 atom. So in order to balance, we put 2 over here. 3 2s are 6, 3 2 6. This gets balanced. Now just put 2 here in order to balance silver. Now this equation, whole equation gets balanced. Let's take another example for writing the chemical equation. Barium chloride reacts with potassium sulfate to form barium sulfate and potassium chloride. So we will have to first form the formula for barium chloride. We will use our previous knowledge of writing the chemical formula for barium chloride. We have symbol barium, Ba for barium with valency 2, chlorine valency 1. So we get BaCl2. Barium chloride reacts with potassium sulfate. Potassium is valency 1 and sulfate SO4 valency 2. So we crisscross, we get K2SO4. This is the formula for chemical formula for potassium sulfate. To form barium sulfate, barium we have done valency 2, sulfate valency 2. So you will get barium sulfate plus potassium chloride. Potassium is valency 1 and chlorine is also valency 1. So we have KCl. Now let us see whether the equation is balanced or not. We have barium 1 here and barium 1 here. Chlorine is 2. So chlorine is not balanced. In order to balance chlorine, let us put 2 over here. Now we have 2 chlorine, barium 1 over here, barium 1 over here. We have 2 potassium and 2 potassium, sulfur 1, 4 oxygen and 4 oxygen. The equation is balanced. I hope children, with this video, the concept of writing the chemical formulas and writing the chemical equations must be very clear to you. Thank you.